When I took the job as royal culinary liaison to the crown of Alindra, I expected politics. I expected tension. I expected the constant possibility of assassination. What I didn't expect was to become the one lying on the floor, convulsing, while the most powerful being in 3-star systems screamed my name. My name is Adrian Vale, human, former xenonutrition specialist for the Interstellar Exchange Corps. And the only reason I'm alive is because an alien queen panicked. The invitation. Alindra wasn't like Earth. Its skies shimmered in gradients of violet and gold due to twin suns refracting through a crystalline upper atmosphere. Floating palace spires hovered above a sea of luminous flora that pulsed faintly at night. The Alindrans themselves were taller than humans, slender but durable, their skin carrying faint bioluminescent tracings that shifted with emotion. And at their center stood Queen Seralith Vera, ruler of the Ver Dominion. Supreme authority over 6 colonized systems. Political genius. Feared. Revered. Unapproachable. Until she requested a human. Specifically, a human food specialist. Alindran physiology processed nutrients differently from most carbon-based species. They could metabolize compounds that would kill humans instantly, and vice versa. Diplomatic banquets had nearly ended in disaster more than once.
So they hired me.
My role was simple: ensure cross-species cuisine didn't accidentally trigger biochemical catastrophe. That was the official reason. Unofficially, humans were known for surviving things that should kill them. Apparently, that made us useful. The tension in the palace. Palace life was rigid. Tasters sampled every royal dish. Security scanned every ingredient at molecular resolution. Servants moved like synchronized clockwork. But politics on Alindra was unstable. Several noble houses opposed Seralith's reforms, particularly her decision to open trade routes with Earth. To them, humans were volatile, emotion-driven, unpredictable. To her, we were resilient. You survive on a death world, she told me during one inspection of the royal kitchens. That's flattering, I replied. Most of us just call it home. Her bioluminescent markings brightened slightly, Alindran amusement. You adapt quickly, she said. It is intriguing. I should have noticed the way she watched me, not as one studies a tool, but as one studies possibility. The banquet. The assassination attempt came during the Unity Conclave, a massive gathering of nobles, military commanders, and off-world dignitaries. Every course had been triple verified, every ingredient scanned, every cook background checked. The main dish was a delicacy, crystallized thalin root glazed in Virex nectar, safe for Alindrans, but biologically inert to humans. At least it should have been. The Queen's personal taster sampled it first. He showed no reaction. She lifted her fork. And I noticed something. A faint shimmer in the glaze, not visible under standard spectrum. But I had worked long enough with alien biochemistry to recognize when something felt off. Your Majesty, I said quietly. She paused. Yes, Adrian? May I? Protocol shattered. Gasps rippled across the hall. No one interrupts the Queen mid-meal. But she handed me the plate. I didn't run a scan. Didn't wait for analysis. I took a bite. The collapse. The taste was wrong. Subtly metallic. And then,
pain.
It hit like my bloodstream had ignited. My knees buckled. The banquet hall ceiling spun into fractals of violet and gold. My muscles seized violently. I remember falling, hearing screams, seeing her, Queen Seralith, rising from her throne so fast her ceremonial mantle tore. Seal the hall, she commanded. Her bioluminescence flared brilliant white, a color Alindrans rarely displayed.
Fear.
Guards swarmed. Medical drones descended. But I was already convulsing. The poison wasn't designed for Alindrans. It was designed to pass through their tasters unnoticed. It was engineered for human metabolism. It had been meant for me. The Queen's decision. Later, I learned what happened next. The royal physicians declared the toxin unidentifiable. Human doctors on Alindra were limited to embassy staff. None had experience with xenochemically modified compounds. Standard protocol would have been simple. Contain the contamination. Investigate the source. Accept collateral loss. Instead, Queen Seralith overrode planetary command. She transmitted an emergency beacon across 6 systems. A Priority 1 medical summons. To anyone capable of treating a human poisoned by unknown alien biotoxins. Within minutes, responses flooded in. Cybernetic surgeons from Kethra. Nanomedical pioneers from Ilus Prime. Neural stabilization experts from the Taylor Consortium. She didn't hesitate. Bring them all, she ordered. A noble protested. Your Majesty, diverting that level of medical infrastructure for a single human. Her voice cut like glass. He is under my protection. Silence followed. Across the galaxy, ships altered course. Because a queen demanded it. Between life and death. I drifted in and out of consciousness. Voices in unfamiliar languages. Cold instruments against burning skin. Bright surgical lights. The toxin attacked my neural pathways, rewriting synaptic signals, causing my body to misfire. At one point, my heart stopped. I later learned it was Seralith herself who authorized direct nanite infusion, a treatment never before tested on humans. It could have killed me instantly. Instead, it restarted my heart. For 48 hours, the galaxy's best minds worked over one stubborn human mechanic of food chemistry. And the Queen never left the medical wing. The truth. When I finally woke fully, my throat felt like sand. The room was dim. Advanced med systems hummed softly around me. And she was there. Not in ceremonial robes. Not in regalia. Just in simple white attire, bioluminescence muted. You survived, she said quietly. Was that in doubt? I croaked. Her eyes, luminous silver, held something raw. Yes. I tried to sit up.
Pain reminded me not to.
What happened? An engineered toxin, she replied. Designed to target human neural receptors. It would have been undetectable to Alindran metabolism. So, it wasn't meant for you.
No.
It clicked. You knew. She didn't deny it. I suspected an attempt, she admitted. But I did not expect them to target you. Why me? Because you are the symbol of my alliance with Earth. The poison wasn't about assassination. It was about destabilization. Kill the human advisor. Frame an Alindran faction. Shatter interspecies trust. And it would have worked if I hadn't eaten the meal first. The revelation. Days later, once I could stand again, she brought me to a private balcony overlooking Alindra's glowing plains. The nobles responsible have been identified, she said. Let me guess. Denials all around. Of course. I leaned against the railing. You didn't have to call half the galaxy for me. Yes, she said. I did. There was no hesitation. No ruler expends that level of political capital for a foreign advisor, I said. Her bioluminescent markings shifted, soft gold now. Alindrans do not form attachments easily, she said. Our lifespans span centuries. Most alliances are strategic. And this one? She stepped closer. When you took that bite, you did not hesitate. You looked unsure. I was not unsure. You could have died, she said. So could you. The wind lifted strands of her silver-toned hair. For the first time in my reign, she admitted softly, I felt fear that was not political. That hit harder than the poison. The aftermath. The attempt backfired spectacularly. News spread quickly that the Queen had summoned the galaxy's finest medical experts to save a human. To some nobles, it was scandalous. To others, it was proof. Proof that her alliance with Earth was not superficial. Earth responded in kind. Human scientists collaborated with Alindran physicians, developing new cross-species medical protocols. Joint research initiatives formed. Trade expanded. Security tightened. But something had shifted. Not just politically.
Personally.
She visited my recovery wing daily. Sometimes we discussed policy. Sometimes nothing at all. Once, she brought a revised version of the Thalen root dish. "I have removed the glaze," she said carefully. I laughed. "You're not still testing it on me, are you?" "Only if you insist." The conversation that changed everything. The night before I was cleared for full duty, she requested a private audience. No guards. No advisors. Just us in the palace observatory. "Adrian," she began, using my name without title for the first time in public. "Alindran rulers traditionally bond through dynastic pairing." That sounds ominous. It is strategic. And you're not very strategic right now. She met my gaze directly. On the contrary, I am choosing deliberately. Silence stretched between us, heavy with implications neither of us could ignore. "I am aware of the complications," she continued. "Cultural, biological, political. Minor details," I said lightly, though my heart pounded. "But I will not rule through fear alone," she said. "And I will not pretend that what I felt when you were dying was insignificant." I swallowed. "So, what are you saying?" "I am saying," she said, bioluminescence glowing brighter, "that when you ate that poisoned meal, you demonstrated loyalty beyond obligation. And when you called the galaxy's top doctors, I replied, you demonstrated something beyond diplomacy." She stepped closer. Alindrans rarely made physical contact outside ritual contexts, but her hand brushed mine.
Warm. Steady.
"I do not wish to lose you," she said. For a queen, that was as close to vulnerability as it gets. A new era. Months passed. The assassination scandal faded into history. Alindra and Earth signed expanded treaties. Joint fleets trained together. Medical breakthroughs derived from my case saved thousands across species lines. And the story of the human who ate the queen's poisoned meal became legend. But the truth was simpler. I didn't eat it to be heroic. I ate it because something felt wrong. And because somewhere along the way, protecting her had stopped being a job. It had become personal. One evening, during another grand banquet, security quadrupled this time. She lifted her glass. "To resilience," she declared. Her gaze found mine across the hall. "And to those who remind us that survival is strongest when shared." Applause thundered. I raised my own glass. And this time, I didn't taste fear. Just possibility. The galaxy had expected outrage. Retaliation.
War.
Instead, it witnessed something far more destabilizing. A queen who valued one human life enough to summon the greatest minds in existence. And a human who would eat poison before letting her fall. Empires shift because of fleets. But history changes because of moments. One bite. One decision. One call across the stars. And everything after was different.